Hi, I'm Devin. Thank you for joining me and taking a moment for movement. Today we're going to continue with our Matwork series. By Matwork, all I mean are yoga postures that we're doing on the mat or on the floor. So you don't need any equipment and we're not coming up to stand at any point. So find yourself some clear space or unroll your mat and let's get started. Let's begin in the seated position. I'm starting in hero pose with my knees bent, seated on my heels. You can always modify this if you have a cushion or a yoga block at home by taking the block or the cushion, placing it between your heels and sitting on top. This takes a little pressure off the knee and ankle joints, and if you've got tighter thighs, it'll feel a little bit more comfortable. But you can always just swing your legs around to a seated position with your ankles crossed or with your legs extended if that feels more comfortable. So from our seated position, we're going to start by warming up the upper body. Let's reach our arms out at shoulder height and just begin with some nice gentle circles of the hands, warming up the wrists. Excellent. Let's bring our hands down to our lap and roll the shoulders back several times. Being mindful of the whole circle. So we're drawing the shoulders up, back, squeezing the shoulder blades together, and then lowering our shoulders back down the back of the body before we draw them back towards center and towards the chest. So a couple times in that direction, and then go the opposite way. Good. Let's do one more. Up and back. Roll the shoulders back and down the spine. Hold it there. Sit up nice and tall. Take a couple nice deep breaths. And just notice how your body feels as you exhale fully. Inhaling, filling the lungs and ribs, expanding them with fresh air. And letting the body relax and the mind relax with each exhale. Let's continue that breath throughout our practice and throughout our day. So as we're seated here, let's gently lower our chin to our chest and then gently bring the left ear towards the left shoulder. So be mindful of where the chin is. We don't want it jutting out, but instead pull it in back towards the body and you'll feel that stretch a little bit more deeply through the right side of the neck. Bring the chin to the chest, right ear towards right shoulder. Again, notice where your chin is. Take a couple nice deep breaths here. And let's do that once more each side. Bring the left ear to the left shoulder. And the right ear to the right shoulder. Chin to the chest and gently lift your head back up. Excellent. Let's bring our hands to prayer position. Lift the elbows up. Keep the forearms parallel to the floor. And now bring the points of the fingers towards your right shoulder. So keep that connection down the length of the palms and imagine creating a diagonal line down the palms themselves. So as we press our fingertips over towards the right shoulder, we're going to feel this stretch in the underside of the right forearm. Let's bring the fingers to center and over to the left. Good. Back through center. Reach the right arm out. Press the fingers down. Use the left hand to just press the hand a little bit closer towards the body. Now you should feel the stretch through the top of the forearm. And we'll switch sides. Left hand out at shoulder height. Lower the fingers towards the floor. Use the right hand to just gently press the hand in and down a little bit deeper. Excellent job. So lower our hands, roll the shoulders out, move our body to the back of our mat. If you haven't been in hero pose, now's the time to bend the knees, sit back on our heels, and we're just going to drape our upper body forward over the thigh, coming into child's pose. So let your forehead sink down towards the floor. If it doesn't comfortably touch the floor, that's okay. You can always stack one fist on top of the other and rest your head on top, or you can grab a hold of a block or a cushion and place your head on top of that surface. Continue to breathe deeply here. Notice the way the chest kind of presses into the thighs, the ribs expand out to the side. So breathe into the ribs and the upper back. And now let's walk our hands over towards the right corner of the room. Sit your left hip back. So if you were wearing a pair of jeans, you should be reaching through that back left pocket. That way we'll feel the stretch along the outside, the left side of the torso, under the left arm and shoulder, and into that left hip. Let's come back through center and walk our hands towards the left corner of the room. Sit back into the right hip now. Continue to breathe. Excellent. Let's come back through center. We're going to come up onto our hands and knees. Keep the left hand where it is to begin, and the back of the right hand is going to come down to the floor. We're going to thread the needle. So slide the right fingertips over towards the left edge of the room, bringing the right shoulder and the right temple down to the floor. So we're creating space between the shoulder blades, keeping the hips stacked over the knees. If you don't feel this stretch in the upper back, you can adjust a little bit, maybe reaching your hips back, or maybe you can reach the right arm a little bit further to the left side of the room. Let's release. Press into the left palm, gently straighten out the arm as you slide the right arm back out. Plant the right hand under the right shoulder, and we'll switch sides. Left hand, back of the hand to the floor, just under your chest. Slide it over to the right as you lower the left shoulder, the left temple down to the mat, and breathe. And as we settle into the posture, maybe you can reach your fingers a little bit further to the right. Excellent. Let's release. Press through the right hand. Slide that left hand back out. We're going to walk our hands forward and move into puppy pose. So we're going to keep our hips stacked directly over the knees, but we're going to walk our hands out just as we had done in child's pose. But now we're lowering the triceps, the face, the neck, the chest down towards the mat, feeling that stretch through the underside of the arms, through the upper back and shoulders. And we're just breathing deeply. Excellent. Let's lift our head, neck, and chest up. And we're going to swing our legs around and take a seat at the center of our mat. So we're going to start with our left leg extended, right leg is bent, sole of the foot along the inner calf or the inner thigh of the left leg. Our shoulders begin stacked over the hips. And let's lift both arms up, biceps next to our ears as we inhale. Exhale, reach forward as we fold. When you can't reach forward any further, just drop your hands and ease your chest down towards the thigh, breathing deeply. Really want to think about elongating the body here, reaching the crown of the head down towards your toes. Let's inhale, lift forward and up. Bring the shoulders back over the hips. Lower the hands down. We're going to plant the right hand just behind the right hip, fingertips pointing towards the back of your mat. Reach your left arm up towards the sky. Let's inhale. And as we exhale, press into the right hand. Shift your weight into the right shin, into the left foot. Lift the hips off the floor and reach your left fingertips back. Find length through the body and take a couple nice deep breaths. Excellent. Let's gently lower our hips down, bring our left arm back down to the left side of the body. Keep the left leg where it is and the right knee bent. We're just going to pick up the right leg and place the foot on the outside of the left thigh. So sit up tall, bring the shoulders back over the hips. Bring the right hand behind the back, planting the palm just behind the tailbone. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, lower it on the outside of the right thigh, opening up the chest towards the right side of the room and looking over the right shoulder. So this is a spinal twist. This position is great for anyone that has some sciatica pain or trouble digestion. This really lights the digestive fire. Let's exhale as we release. Release the left arm, bring the chest forward, and the right arm back to our side. Lower the right leg, and we're going to switch sides, starting with the hamstring stretch. So bend the left leg, bring the sole of the left foot along the right thigh or calf. Sit up tall, pull the flesh away from the sits bones. Let's inhale both arms up, and exhale, reach forward as we fold, hinging at the hips, dropping the hands when we can't fold forward any further, lowering the torso, the face, down towards the leg. And as we settle into this posture, maybe we can walk our hands a little bit further along the length of the leg. Good. Let's inhale, reach forward and all the way back up. Now we know it's coming. Keep the right arm up, left hand back just behind the left hip. Press into the left palm. Shift the weight into the left shin, the right foot. Open the chest, reach back through the right fingertips, and breathe deeply here. Excellent. Gently lower the hips down, lower the right hand, and bring your shoulders back over the hips. Moving into our spinal twist on the opposite side. Pick the left foot up, plant it outside the right thigh. Left hand behind the back. Inhale, right arm up. And exhale, lower it on the outside of the left thigh. Open the chest, look over the left shoulder, and breathe. Excellent. Let's release. And bring the right hand to the right side. Keep the left knee bent, but let's step it back over in front of the left hip. We're going to bend the right foot and press through the hands and feet. Exhaling, lifting the hips up into a tabletop. So use the glutes to help keep the hips stable and in line with the knees. And you can keep the chin towards the chest, looking upwards, breathing deeply. Excellent job. Let's lower our hips down to the floor, straighten out the legs, keep the thighs together, toes up towards the sky, and inhale both arms up. Exhale, reach forward as you fold, seated forward fold, drop the hands towards the feet, lower the chest towards the thighs. Breathe, letting the body relax, letting it sink down towards the legs, walking the hands further down the length of the legs. Breathe deeply. Let's inhale, lift the arms up and all the way back, planting them behind the hips. Fingertips pointing forward. We're going to lift into an upward facing plank. So if this is too intense, you can always go back to the tabletop posture we just practiced. So let's move with our breath. Inhale. Exhale, press through the hands, lift the hips off the mat. You can drop the toes forward or rotate them out towards the corners of your mat. Activating the muscles along the back side of the body. Work the glutes to keep the hips lifted, creating that nice diagonal line along the length of the torso all the way down to your toes. You can keep your chin at your chest, or you can lift it up towards the sky. Keep pressing the glutes, Press through the feet and breathe. And release, hips down. Let's sit up nice and tall. Roll the shoulders back. Take a nice deep breath. Namaste. Excellent job today. Thank you for joining me and taking a moment for movement. Please subscribe and click the bell for updates on future videos.